you start to think about all that is wrong in the world, you think about things like crime, violence, drugs, and poverty. And you start to think to yourself, how? How can this happen? What are we, as a society, failing to do to allow this to continue to happen? Reading The Other Wes Moore and working on this research project has allowed us to be more open-minded about the world that surrounds us, and has gotten us thinking, how does one's financial status affect their education? In this novel, two people with the same name live in the same city, and yet their lives ended up being totally different from each other's. One ends up in jail for murder, and the other made a career from becoming an Army officer and a Rhodes Scholar.
The purpose of this presentation is to bring awareness to the general public about this ongoing problem that is happening here in America, and to let them know that a difference can be made for all students whose academics suffer from poverty.
Academic achievement refers to a person's educational outcomes that represent the extent of his or her accomplished academic goals. Academic achievement is proportional to an individual's socioeconomic status, or SES. SES is an economic and sociological combined measurement of one's education, income, and occupation. It is commonly conceptualized as an individual's social standing or class relative to that of others. For example, having a high SES would place an individual in the upper class of a certain group.
Low SES students typically have lower academic goals and a lower educational attainment outcome. A study conducted in 2002 that followed the same group of students until 2012 looked for trends between their socioeconomic status and academic achievement. In 2004, only 25% of the low SES students expected to earn a bachelor's degree, and 22% expected to earn an advanced degree. By the end of the study in 2012, only 14% of the low SES students had actually completed a bachelor's degree or higher. Compare that to the 33% of high SES students who expected to earn a bachelor's degree and the 52% who expected to earn an advanced degree. By the end of the study, 60% of these students had earned a bachelor's degree or higher. As you can see, higher academic achievement is disproportionately more likely for those students with a higher socioeconomic status.
As a group, we conducted a survey asking Sac State students about their basic financial background, asking questions like their family's annual income, as well as their parents' involvement in their academic life. After conducting this survey for a week's time, we came to the conclusion that about 51% of families of Sac State's student population makes less than $60,000, which is considered to be part of the lower middle class. About 56% of the students rated their parents' involvement in their academic life as little to none. From the survey we conducted, about 70% of Sac State students who are in or below lower middle class status reported to have little to no parental involvement in their education. A parent's lack of involvement can be detrimental to a child's academic success. If a parent isn't involved in their child's academics, then it may cause him or her to lose interest, lack motivation, and not care about their education.
More than half of the students that attend Sac State work part-time to help pay for the tuition, books, and other necessities. 50% of these students' parents never attended or completed college during their time. This also supports our results that 50% of those students who participated in our survey chose Sac State because of the option of financial aid, which helps pay for most of their education. 87.5% of the participants also chose location as a main reason to attend Sac State. This helps lower the cost of commuting to school, as well as lowering the cost to come home for the holidays. 65.6% of those students chose cost to attend as a major reason to attend Sac State. While students here at Sac State are paying about $25,700 for school, schools like Stanford are having their students pay over $46,000.
There are numerous potential causes for the academic achievement gap in the United States. To simplify our research, we have split our findings into two categories: what goes on in school and what goes on outside of school.
Everything we do starts at home, and that includes the involvement of parents in their children's academic lives. We have found that a parent's involvement plays a bigger role than we can possibly imagine. Many of the students that typically live in urban environments also come from single-parent households. With incomes only coming from a single working parent, the family is only provided with a limited amount of income. This usually forces the parents to work 2 or 3 jobs 7 days a week, leaving little attention for their children, let alone their academic life. This allows the kids to have more freedom without adult supervision to be exposed to gangs, violence, and drugs that surround their neighborhood. According to Eric Morales, all the students identified parenting as key, and most agreed with research stating that while low SES, parents are less likely to be involved in school, it usually due to lack of available time rather than interest.
Another vital part of the student's academic life has to do with the available resources at the schools they attend. The tools that a school provides for a student, such as textbooks or even teachers, makes a huge difference in a student's success.
Not only do students in the areas of high poverty rates lack the resources they need at home, their schools are also scraping by to provide the resources that they need. According to the unequal school funding in the United States, better funded school districts can attract teachers with higher levels of education, more experience, and higher scores on tests. These teachers generate better achievement scores among students. After knowing this, you have to ask yourself, what about the less funded schools? What do they receive? Inexperienced teachers, insufficient learning material, which then leads to the lack of motivation for the students to be willing to learn.
According to researcher Eric Morales, institutions preparing teachers, particularly teachers entering urban environments, have an obligation to be honest about the challenges these teachers will face, while simultaneously infusing beliefs that effective teaching can and will make a difference. The school systems needs to make sure that the faculty that they are hiring have enough experience in higher education in order for the school system to function in the way it has to, so that the students can move on and get a better education.
Some people say, I'm just one person, what difference can I make? Well, we say a bigger difference than you think. It all starts with a simple step of putting yourself out there. In an attempt to close the academic achievement gap, we have the following suggestions for institutions, policymakers, teachers, parents, and students. For institutions, we recommend that the higher education community should have a more involved partnership with K-12 students so that low-income students receive better academic preparation for higher education. Colleges must also be mindful of low socioeconomic students' motivation to obtain a stable job. This calls for an improvement of advising and support services that assist with post-graduation job placement. We recommend that institutions be cost-conscious. Courses, student support services, and campus activities must be scheduled at times that meet the unique needs of low-income students.
For policymakers, we suggest that they sponsor early intervention programs in predominantly lower K-12 schools to inform students of their higher education options and help them to develop the skills necessary for college success. We also recommend an increase of availability of need-based scholarships that encourage the enroll and persistence of low socioeconomic students.
For teachers, we recommend that they should avoid dumbing down their courses, because students should be adequately prepared for the workforce or college transfer. Instruction should also be career-based and challenging. Teachers need to be more understanding and should avoid stereotyping students because of their poverty. In this way, students will be more comfortable disclosing their workforce obligations, family responsibilities, and financial hardships to their instructors.